We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin. And today, Faithful Acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is from the Heat Hot Sauce Shop. It is the limited edition roasted habanero and garlic. Now, when I think of roasted habanero and garlic, I think of the Razu, first, foremost, always. And that is a great sauce. It was half of my custom blend. You can check out the review for that in the hot sauce playlist if you're interested. But I'm I don't like it just solely by, I mean, it's fine. It's a good sauce. But I was looking around a little bit to see some different Mexican style sauces because I am back on the streets again trying to find more Mexican style sauces for when I go on my little tears of Mexican style food. Usually I don't know if you're like me, but I'll usually go on runs of a certain style of food for a while. Mexican style in particular will be, a week or 2 or 3 maybe sometimes, where I'll have it really, really frequently and then it'll just drop off for a little while. I'm on one of those now as I film this. So when I was looking around, I did a little scouring of Black Friday stuff in 2022, and I needed enough to actually get free shipping. That's how I came across this one. And it read to me like it was probably going to be a something similar to that. So let's take a look at the ingredient panel here. We've got the apple cider vinegar, we've got the roasted habaneros, we've got roasted garlic, brown sugar, and salt. So the idea here is they have a regular version of this, which maybe it's green habaneros, possibly. This is supposed to be red and orange habaneros. That is what the limited edition is meant. They're also supposed to be, this is supposed to be hotter than the regular one. So I did not get the regular one. If I ever wind up on that website again, they do some interesting collaborations with sauce makers. They've got one from Dawson's there on the website that I've seen that look kind of interesting. So who knows, possibly I'll wind up there again at some point. Most of my purchases come, as I mentioned over and over again, from the shelves that burn your tongue. But, sometimes there's stuff that I can't find if I'm trying to do a hot ones, for instance, and I can't find it on the hot ones and I can't find it there or on Amazon or whatever, then I'll kind of cast around a little bit. And that's, I think, how I wound up stumbling onto their site. Although possibly I might have used them in the past. I don't actually recall. The history of my hot sauce purchases is getting pretty deep now. For so many decades of doing it that I can't keep in mind every single source I have. So it looks nice. It looks very mole-ish. You got this very nice, I would say this is more of a brown. This is more of a medium brown color to me, actually, than I would say either red or orange. Nice little flecks of, you see them in there. Nice little flecks of the roasting process there. So, yeah, I think it looks really, really, really good. So let's get into it. So right away, a little hint of that apple cider vinegar, which I really wish they wouldn't have used. And then we get a lot of that rich roasted habanero flavor, which is just delicious. Garlic, I wouldn't say is reading through especially strong. There's a little back current of it there. And the sweetness, so when I saw the sugar, the sweetness was kind of interesting to me to see how that would change things up a little bit. It definitely is a different spin than the Arazu. I don't think I like this better. I think I like the Arazu a little bit better. This is definitely hotter though. There's a nice amount of heat to this to be for this style of sauce anyway. I think I gave it a 2, which is pretty impressive for this style of sauce. Usually it doesn't even get to that. Usually most of those sauces I think hover right around a 1, sometimes even less than that. So, all right. So one of the things despite what you may have seen on this channel, I try to eat healthy. And so here we've got, what I'm going to make is a, kind of one of the things that I'm doing now, which is a bean and pork. This happens to be pulled pork. So refried beans and pulled pork burrito. So this, let's see if I can actually manage to make it look burrito shaped this time. If I can do a decent job of this, we'll see. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm going to try. That's probably enough of that. So we've got this nice fiber tortilla here. What I hope are some nice healthy refries. Put a little bit of cheddar on there. Nice healthy cheddar. This particular one is from Kraft. Sometimes I'll throw jalapenos on there. I'm not going to this time because this is, I want to stick more to the hot sauce with this one. Jeez, get the chaz out of here. We'll throw on some of this. So I got pulled pork instead of carnitas pork. And that might have been a mistake here. So I'm seeing what coloration looks almost like a ham here. So this might be a little bit more interesting than I had originally planned. But we'll pile on stay there. Pile on the pork. Get a little bit more sauce on the pork. I think part of this is just because I'm expecting a different sort of flavor note from this, because I'm expecting something a lot closer to the Arazu. And that apple cider vinegar and the sugar they're notes that I don't object to, but they're jarring every time I come across them. Look at that. How's that for a burrito? Rest of this out of here. Put you over there. All right. We're gonna let this sit for just a hot second here. I don't remember. Like I said, this was a fill-in to get free shipping, so I don't remember this being especially expensive. I think it was probably about the $7-8 range where the Arazu comes in at, which of course might be, you know, why I had Arazu so much in mind. Just there's a lot of similarities there, I think. I do like Arazu better. I'll just say that front. I think the Arazu is a better sauce. But this is a very interesting one. All right, let's get into this. I don't understand why the sweetness. Like, what food type are they going for? Where they say, you know, this would really be better if we had some sweetness to our Mexican style sauce. I mean, you do have some moles that'll take on a bit of that aspect. The apple cider vinegar, I think, is a trendy thing. Or, you know, maybe that's their preferred vinegar. Okay, so this sauce, where it's interacting with the cheese and the beans, is really good. Quite excellent. Where we have it with, and this isn't the fault of the sauce, it's just that this is more of a hammy side of pulled pork than it is, a straight whiter meat. But those two together are kind of jarring. There shouldn't be any flavor on the pork, but maybe there is. It's got some smokiness to it. It's possible there's another flavoring in there as well, though. So, with the beans and cheese, it's pretty good. Adding a nice bit of roasted habanero flavor. Some odd notes of sweet and the apple cider vinegar, but overall, it's. I have no problem eating that. You can see I've whipped through this bottle. This bottle's been open, I think, 3 days, maybe. Might be 4, 3 or 4 days. I will use this one more time and it'll be done. And that's why I think that's why we don't see a lot of ham necessarily get used a whole bunch in Mexican style cooking. It's such a distinctive taste that is some clashing. The pork loins and whatnot, perfect. Don't see a lot of bacon wind up, in a lot of those dishes either. Very solid though. This is it's a nice change of pace take. It's an interesting take on it. That aroused roasted habanero and garlic. I have no complaints there. My preference is not with this though. And I think at heart, part of that is because you get some of those flavor notes that I think kind of distract and take away from the real stars here, which should be that roasted habanero, which is wonderful. That blend is a wonderful roasted habanero flavor. And if it was just permitted to just breathe by itself, I think this is a better sauce. I think that's why they use white vinegar in the arazu. And it's because they don't add sugar either, and I think that's their focus. They want it to be the habaneros, first and foremost, roasted habaneros. Then some side notes of the garlic and salt and whatever vinegar happens to be there. But that's not the focus. The focus is definitely on the habaneros. Here, I think we just get... I just think this sauce, getting away from it is kind of to its detriment. Because you have the sweet and you have that apple cider, and it's just jarring. And so for me anyway, I wish those components weren't there or were there in a... Well, the apple cider vinegar I don't think works with this at all. So that one I would say they definitely should just go with the white vinegar. And then the sweetener, cut it back a little bit, and for my preference anyway, that's kind of where I would put, as a way to fix this sauce. I mean, I can't say there's anything wrong with it. It just doesn't cater to my palate specifically enough, I guess. So, like it says, it's a nice change of pace. I probably wouldn't get it again. I don't know if I'm going to get their other one or not. Well, maybe if I need shipping again and I happen to be there for something else, I don't know. I'm not going to seek it out. I'll put it that way. But yeah, for a hot sauce shop with a branded sauce, I think it came out actually pretty well. Definitely does differentiate itself a bit anyway from some of the other stuff on the market. And I guess probably can't ask for too much more than that. But if they do happen to make those other changes, I'd be a lot more interested in having a repeat of the sauce or a re-review even. You know, who knows? I don't think I've done any of those on the video series. I have come back to some of the ones that are written and then re-reviewed them. But I think, you know, maybe do like a version 2 of V2 or something like that. Or 1.1, what have you. But anyway, for this time out, that was the Heat Hot Sauce Shop limited edition roasted habanero and garlic hot sauce. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.